Good evening, dear people. For dinner tonight, I will be making jambalaya. So, to start off, I've got my green and red peppers, my andouille sausages, and my chicken. And the first thing we're going to do is cut these up, and they're going to be separate. They're going to be cooked separately. This is going to be cooked first in a pan, and then this is also going to be cooked in a pan, and this is going to be thrown into a pot later with the jambalaya. So first thing, we're going to cut this up, and I'll be back when that is finished cutting. Alright, so once you have your vegetables all chopped, I cut those to small little bite-sized pieces. You're going to want to use, I use chicken breast. You can use any type of chicken thigh. Cut them into kind of, not flat, but smaller cubes, kind of like so. And then your andouille sausages, you cut them kind of thin, like so. Once you finish with that, I'm going to season my chicken first. And what I'll be using today is Lawry's seasoned salt, as always. Seasoned salt is a must. Some garlic powder. Pepper. Any old pepper is fine. Chili powder. It's not jambalaya if it's ain't got no spice to it. Chili powder. And then some Old Bay's. I've got the hot Old Bay seasoning, so. Alright, then you can use a spoon if you want. I'm going to mix it with my hands. Give that a mix together. Alright. And that'll sit on the side for a little bit. And then you're going to do the same for your sausages. You don't really have to season the sausages, but I like to add a little base to it. Give it some of that spice. And then mix it up as well. And then your vegetables. Obeys again. A little garlic powder. Some chili powder. And some pepper. And you mix all that together as well. Alright, now we're going to move over to the stove. Once we move all that over to the stove, we're going to start on our shrimp. I'm going to season these first. Same ingredients as the chicken. Some Lawry's seasoning salt. Some garlic powder. Pepper. Chili powder. And Old Bay's. And you can add some lemon pepper if you want. I'm going to add just a little bit. And mix it all together. Once you finish mixing it, you're going to detail your shrimp. If you already have detailed, great. But if not, you're going to need to take the tails off. Before we start to put everything in our pan and cook it to put it into the rice, we're gonna put the actual rice. I'm just using Zetaran's Jambalaya box. We're gonna put that into our pot so it's starting to cook while we're doing everything else. So we're gonna put, one box is 2.5 cups, so there's 5 cups in there. And then if you want, you can put some vegetable in there, 1 tablespoon per box. You're gonna have your rice on medium heat until it comes to a boil. When it comes to a boil, then you're gonna put everything in there. By then it should be, everything should be done. You're gonna put a little oil in your pan. I have olive oil in mine. And you're gonna do your chicken first. So you're gonna take your chicken, put it in the pan. Cook that till it's done. Shouldn't take long if you cut it thin enough. You're gonna have this on medium heat. Alright, once your chicken's done, you're going to preserve all of the juices that came from it and the seasoning. I'm going to use a old spoon and put it back in the bowl because I want to keep those juices to put the sausages on top of that juice, so I don't have to keep adding oil and it's already seasoned. So you want your chicken to be fully done. You cannot have raw chicken. So if you need to, cut it in half and look inside. It'll be kind of a goldenish color, kind of like that, once it's done. After the chicken's done, we're gonna put our andouille sausages up in there. There's no necessarily, these are already cooked. You just need to brown them, so when you put them in the pot, they're actually cooked. It takes a couple minutes, so we'll be back when those have finished. Alright, now that our andouille sausages are done, looking nice, we're gonna move on to the shrimp. We're gonna put the shrimp in the same pot. It's gonna soak in all those seasonings from the previous meats. Shrimp shouldn't take long to cook though. Shrimp is shrimp. Once the shrimp is done, I'll be back to show y'all that. Alright, once your shrimp's done, you don't need to cook it too much because again, it's going to the pot. You are going to move on to your vegetables. We're going to toss that into the pot. You're going to leave the juices again so it cooks nice and seasoned with all the other, it's all going together. So I'm keeping it all nice and mixed together. I like my green and red peppers to be soft, so I'm gonna cook those until they get nice and soft. When I push them down, they make a little bit of a mashed feel. Add a little bit of olive oil. I poured some of the juice from the shrimp into the bowl with the shrimp. So. You can just let those sit in the middle for about 2 seconds. That's all it really takes, and then they'll be done. Alright, they're really good to go. You just kind of want to brown them. Once everything is cooked, we're going to start putting it into our pot with the with the rice. So we're just gonna dump everything into the pot. There's that. Our shrimp, our sausages, and our chicken. You're gonna give that a mix. Into that. Then once you mix that in, you're gonna lower your heat to a simmer, and you're gonna let that sit until the water kind of absorbs into the rice and it gets a little bigger, or until the rice gets soft. Everything else is cooked, so until then, I'll see you, show you when it's done. And now our jambalaya is done. Nice and plated, still got some moisture to it. Nicely cooked. And I'm about to chow down. Thank you. Peace.